giving.
You think it's all social media?
Could be sometimes.
Could be.
Yeah, not all the time. Could be.
Okay. Well, we're going to delve into that and find that out.
Okay.
But we are here in case you all are trying to look at us or listen to us, we are on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live right now. And we are also, what's your Instagram?
J.MYLES image, one word.
J.MYLES image.
One word.
You can go there as well, and you can see him on his Instagram, and he's live there as well. Is that correct?
I'm just live right now on Facebook Live.
Oh, Facebook Live. Okay, I'm sorry. Is the same J.MYLES?
Facebook is my name, Stan Jamison.
Okay, spell that for the friends.
StanJamison. Stan Jamison.
Okay.
Facebook Live.
Word up. Okay, that's awesome. So you can also listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker. You can also go to the Accelerated Radio Network.net. It's net, ain't it? Net, in order to listen to us as well. Also, we want to give a big shout out and say what's up to Mr. A+. Hi, Mr. A+. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored.
Blessed and highly favored. Wonderful.
I'm trying to keep it positive. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I'm really pissed off.
Why you pissed off?
You feel me? But,
you know what?
But I'm blessed and highly favored.
That's right.
Why you pissed off, A+?
I'm really not pissed off, but life could just be better.
Oh, okay.
But instead of me pissed off about that. Let me just be thankful.
They say it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
Exactly.
Unless that's what you like.
But
some people do get into that.
I'm good.
You good with that? Okay. Well, are you taking any steps to make life better?
I just took a couple puffs just now, so
That's a beginning.
You know what I mean?
It is definitely a beginning.
It relaxes
That is
me.
a very good beginning according to quite a few people.
And I may after the show I may take a couple shots or something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow's gonna be a big day, so it is what it is.
Oh, what's going on tomorrow?
I'll be 35 tomorrow.
That's right. Tomorrow's your birthday. Big up to A+. Oh my God! On your show, you gonna be turning 35 on your show.
Yeah, I'm gonna be lit. We're gonna be lit on the show.
Y'all have to make sure y'all turn into the Accelerated Radio Takeover tomorrow night.
Big 35. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yes, he's gonna. Y'all come on at 9?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. 10 to
West Coast
11.
time.
On the same networks you listen to us on, you can listen to them on. Right. You can go on there and listen and see the birthday celebration. Gonna be a birthday celebration? You doing it big?
Something like that. I mean, the focus is gonna be more on the show and the battle and all that, but I'm pretty sure some people gonna slide through.
What's the battle tomorrow?
Oh, the battle is Women's Dream Team at 80s era.
Oh.
So we got the Takeover Zone Big Homie Quan against the Bar Bros DJ Devious. They're gonna battle it out against each other. 5 songs from female artists or groups from the 1980s. That means January 1st, 1980, all the way to December 31st, 1989. Ooh. And 5 songs. It's going to be 1 rock, 1 pop, 1 hip hop, 1 R&B, and 1 freestyle. Ooh. And we got some special guest judges coming in. They're going to go ahead and judge the battle. They're not even going to know whose songs belong to who.
Okay, and just make it completely and utterly fair.
Utterly fair.
Okay.
They're judging on the compilation of songs together, and it's gonna be a dope little show.
Okay, that's what's up.
Tune in.
Okay, so friends, also tonight, if you want to call in and talk to us, you can plop down on the sofa with us. Of course, you could also go to all of our social medias and you can comment as well. We will read them, but you also can call us here in the studio and be on air with us. The number here is 310-910-9676, extension 1. We will love to talk to you at any time. But starting off right now, we just want to give a couple of condolences to quite a few people passed this week. Last week.
Okay.
One of them being a gentleman by the name of Patrick Day, who was only 27 years old. Wow. He was a boxer, and this is like the 3rd boxer that we've talked about that has passed away. So just such a dangerous sport.
Yeah.
If you can call it sport. I mean, I know it's a sport, and it's not a dig at it, but it's just like, is that sport beating up on each other like that?
I think MMA is a lot worse than regular
boxing.
Yeah,
you might be right.
Yeah.
You might be right, but he died on Wednesday. I'm sorry, he died on Saturday, this past Saturday, and he was violently knocked out in a fight from Wednesday. So last Wednesday, and he passed away on Saturday. So we want to send our prayers and condolences and good energy that direction to his family. Also, the representative Elijah Cummings. We do know that he has passed away. He was 68 years old, and he was a congressman of the 7th District in Maryland. I think he had Baltimore, right?
Yes, Baltimore.
He had Baltimore. They said he had health issues, but no one seemed to know that he was sick.
He just went along and did everything daily like he was.
Okay.
If he was sick.
Okay.
He was strong at it, so got to commend
So
him.
some of the conspiracy theories, people can just like put that to rest. Because some people think it's kind of shady. Because he's the leading person for this impeachment situation with 45.
Right.
So people kind of like and that could be a part of people trying to just place blame and
excuse
the sort right of why somebody's dead, because that's what we do in death, in grieving. Also, a lady, Valerie Lundeen, she was 62 years old. She was the wife of Ron Eli, who was the original Tarzan on the Tarzan show.
Okay.
From the 60s it was. They didn't know how she passed away at first. They thought it was an intruder. She was actually stabbed by her stepson, who was Ron Eli's son. His name is Cameron, and the police thought he was an intruder, and so the police killed him. So both of them died. We really want to send some double portion of prayers to that man, because he lost his wife and his son, and his son was 30. His name was Cameron Eli. So I mean, that had to be like devastating.
A lot of pain in the family right now.
And he stabbed her to death.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the world.
A lot of stuff going on.
We got to stay prayed up. We got to stay vigilant and understand that we gotta pray.
We do hard.
Real hard.
Hard.
The devil is
and
busy.
Continuous. Very busy. Very busy. Also, up on the hill once again, Thomas DeLisandro, who was the brother of Nancy Pelosi, who was her older brother. He was 90 years old. Thomas DeLisandro the third. He was a mayor. He was an ex-mayor, and he passed away a couple days ago. He was 90 years old. She said he was one of the nicest people she's ever known. And I don't think she just said that because he was her brother.
Wow.
He was 90.
90 years old.
Yeah.
Lived a good life.
Lived a long life. Yeah. And also today, John Clark passed away. A lot of people don't know who that is. He played Mickey Horton on Days of Our Lives for like 30-something years. I know that because my grandmother used to watch that soap opera. But he played Mickey Horton on there. He was 80 years old. He passed away from complications of pneumonia. So again, we do, friends, want to send our prayers and our good thoughts and our good energy that direction to those particular families of those people who are dealing with death. Again, we do understand that every week we give our prayers to different families because people die every day. Yeah. But we know that for lots of people, lots of us, it is a story that we just talk about and move on. But these families are dealing with this daily because it's their new normal now. Right. So we do want to keep that in mind as well. Random vent. We'll do something random now. We're going to switch it all the way up and do something random. So a random vent is something that just completely just like can get under your skin. It could be some information. It could be anything at all, period. Do you have something random, Mr. Myles, that you would like to talk about? Come on now. You got something you got to say.
A random vent.
Yeah.
Wow.
About anything.
About anything.
By anything.
Anything.
Oh, man. I don't know. That's you got to come back to me.
No, I don't. You were prepared. You were prepped for it.
I'm on the spot. So
you ain't on the spot. You was prepped for it.
We're going to say random vent. Random vent, I think, individuals texting while driving.
Ooh. That was one of Sacha's one time. It don't matter. It could be yours. So I'm just saying that. So that bothers a lot of people, obviously.
Yes, texting while driving, or I think that's one of the biggest things for me. Texting while driving.
What bothers you?
Have I ever done it? Yes, I've done it.
So you have?
Yes, and then I don't do it anymore. So when you say texting while driving, it can cause accidents and cause issues.
Okay.
But I think one of my biggest pet peeves would be individuals that I would say the entertainment industry.
Okay.
When you have a lot of individuals that's in the entertainment industry that are focusing more so on themselves than what the real remedy is.
Okay.
Whether it's after school programs, where it's helping the kids in the school, they tend to allow their situations or the money to dictate their lives. And I think it's really hurting our men, our black men in the entertainment industry, athletes, you name it. It's really killing them off.
And people may not know that you have a remedy for that a little bit.
Do I have
you deal with you deal with that a little bit?
Do I? Yeah, I mean, I have my remedy would be, with my J.MYLES program. It's basically dealing with kids from the age of 5 to 25, where we have kids which myself, I have an 18-year-old, and
we ain't gonna give it away too much.
Right, yeah,
we ain't gonna talk about
bite
but bite into it a little bit. You can tell them a little bit. Give them a little sample like they do with them all. Sample.
Basically, mine is the relationships men have or didn't have with their sons.
So we're going to find all about that. Y'all have to make sure y'all stick around because it's going to be very, very interesting. We're going to talk to Mr. Myles about his program. You got a random bit, Mr. A+?
I do.
I know you do. We know you. You know what? People look forward to hearing what A+ got. They be like, what's this random bit today?
It ain't even really a random event. It's, it goes along the lines of a pet peeve or whatnot. But, seeing as how it's my birthday tomorrow or whatnot.
Happy birthday again. That's what's up.
Everybody and their mama done been reaching out to me. Yo, what you doing? Oh, what you got popping? What you gonna do? Hey, if you do something, let me know, man. What you got popping? And I really don't do much for my birthday.
Really?
I really don't.
Really?
I'm chill. For me, it's
me
another,
too. I'm the same way.
It's another day.
I'm
you know
the
what I'm
same
saying?
way.
So a lot of times there've been years where I felt like I've had to do something, but I've done it for others. Not necessarily for me.
For yourself.
You know what I'm saying? So
I don't go to work on my birthday if I'm birthday.
I kind of feel a little pressure to do something, but I'm just like, yo, man, like if you care about me like that and you want to do something. Like I'm not asking for everything. Shit, you want to take me to IHOP, take me to McDonald's or something? That's cool. I ain't tripping over nothing. I only want 3 things. PMW, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Go listen to that Lil Wayne song. You catch my drift. That's all I want. I'm simple.
Simple, huh?
You got it?
I know.
You got it?
I already knew what it was.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm talking about. So y'all hit that up. He just told you what to listen to if y'all know what it was. If you were able to donate to one of those 3 things, he gladly accept. Accelerator Radio Takeover every weekend at 10 o'clock. Just hit him up. I got a random vent. My random vent is about perspective, and it goes along the lines of course we know, and I was trying to make sure I say this man's name right. I don't want to say it wrong, but I think it's Eliud Kipchoge. He's the Kenyan man who just had just broke a world record of finishing a marathon in under 2 hours.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes. Yes. About a week or 2 ago, and it's been a lot of I guess I want to say like backlash and upward because people are like, having all these particular reasons why he could have done it, as if we just black people just can't win something without being something else attached to it. But the crazy part about it is, let me tell you what their reasonings are. Because when he finished it, most people finish a marathon like tired and out of breath. He was like he went through the finish line with his hands in the air. He was like he wasn't winded or nothing. So they were just, you know why they said he won? Because of his shoes. He had magic shoes.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Really? So they're like, if he had magic shoes, then go get the shoes and see if you can do it under 2 hours.
Right.
If it's the magic shoes.
If it's the shoes.
You know what I'm saying? But the crazy part about it is that what I said was it's all about perspective, because with that negativity, you can turn that into a positive situation, because whatever shoe he was wearing, if that company was smart, they would use him to advertise and market those shoes.
Correct. Most definitely.
And turn that shit around.
Most definitely.
I'm telling you. And you can always turn. It's all about perspective and your vantage point and what you want to do with that.
Right.
So I say that because I remember some time ago I heard this story about these 2 businessmen who were shoe salesmen. So happened to be, coincidentally, that goes along with this particular story. But there were two businesses. It's a little parable, whatever. But it was two men. They were a shoe salesman, and the company wasn't doing so good. So they sent the shoe salesman to this far off land and was like, we need to try to sell these shoes. So both the men went to this like deserted island, and they got there, and they was like, oh my God, everybody there was barefoot. They didn't wear shoes there.
Right.
So one man called back to the business and was like, yo, we need to come back home. This ain't gonna do good. Nobody here wears shoes.
Right.
The other businessman said, send all the shoes you can. Nobody here has shoes. We gonna sell out. Perspective.
There it is there.
Right there.
They forget about over in Kenya. That's all they do is run.
All they do is run. But I mean, what area are you looking at this from? So, I mean, you can take the negative and you can turn it into something totally different. That's what I just what they feel like they should do. He's not worried about it.
No.
He can care less. But it's just crazy what people will just kind of try to say. Like magic shoes. Y'all believe anything. That's what I'm saying. And which is great because why don't we trust truth is the topic today. In case y'all just now tuning in, friends. Why don't we trust truth? The truth is, are there magic shoes?
No.
Are there magic shoes?
Not at all.
Okay.
They just
or is it just preparation?
Preparation, and also he just did it under 2 hours.
He did it in 2 hours. Like they're like, hey, that's impossible. It must be the shoes. Okay.
Or is he on drugs? Is he taking
well,
some
they
type
didn't
of
do that
enhancement?
one. Right. They didn't do that one, but that's what they did. While we're at it right now, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Shout outs. For the J.MYLES program, yes, my program director, Deola Wynn, out of Lafayette.
To the little cameras over here, honey.
Out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Yes, she's the program director.
What's her name?
Deola Wynn.
Okay. Sacha's from New Iberia.
Okay.
She is. They're right there. They're basically, it's like going from LA to Long Beach.
Okay. Yeah, she's basically helping me out with my program, putting everything together on that end.
Deola Wynn?
Deola Wynn.
Shout out to Deola Wynn in Lafayette.
So basically, by the first of the year, a little bit after the first of the year, I will be launching it in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay.
Also, I have an ex-NFL player named Brian Mitchell.
Okay.
Washington Redskins that endorsed it already.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so shout out to Brian Mitchell and to
Deola Wynn.
Deola Wynn. Boom. I forget sometimes, but that's crazy that you said it just now. But I got it now. I promise you. A little bit later on the show, friends, we will take our time to do a little bit of flip and rotate. And in case you all are just coming in and plopping down on the sofas with us for the first time, we're on a big virtual sofa. You feel that? You feel comfortable?
Right, it feels real good.
Good. We're on a big green sofa, and sometimes when you have a sofa, well, lots of times you should. Sometimes take them sofa cushions up and see what's under there. If you may have lost something or you didn't know you lost something, you find some things. You flip them up, turn them around, you got a new sofa again.
Got a new sofa again.
Ain't that great?
That's old school.
That's old school. See, it's old school. Thank you. Somebody who gets it. But in that particular portion of the show, we will be talking about the Northern Ireland abortion and same-sex marriage law. We will be talking about a gentleman by the name of Marlon Anderson, and we will be talking about a woman by the name of Joanna Schroeder. So we're going to talk about that and go into that a little bit. But we do want to take this time right now. We're trying to wait a little bit, but I guess she ain't going to make it here to give a big ups to Cheesecake de Granger, who services the Los Angeles area. It's an online bakery, cheesecake cupcakes, in miniature and full size, and also cheesecake pops and cheesecake brownies, over 65 flavors. You can go on to www.cheesecakedegranger, CheesecakeDegranger. Look at me, I can spell today. I took my vitamins today. .com, and you can order. Also, they have the ability to ship to you as well. So if you've been not in the LA area and you want to get some cheesecake cupcakes, parfaits, please look them up. We do appreciate all business. Again, today's topic is why don't we trust truth? We will talk all about that. But first up in the news, Santa Anita. The 34th horse has died at Santa Anita. We have been covering this story for like the past 6 months, and we know since last December 34 horses have died, and it just opened up back again, because you remember back in March they shut it down.
Correct
because they were like, what the hell's going on here, because they have an alarmingly high fatality rate. It's ridiculous. So another horse just died, with 3-year-old horse by the name of Satchel Paige, who coincidentally was Sacha's named after. That's funny. But anyway, died, and they are next weekend hosting the Breeders' Cup. And they had to euthanize that poor horse. You know, when they do that, they had to, when they put that blue tent up, it's on the field, on the track. They know what they do, it right there on the track.
Oh wow!
They don't take it nowhere, do it right on the track. Oh, everybody looking. It's kind of like, I don't know, monstrous in my opinion, but anyway. But we do know there is $22 million in prize money for the Breeders' Cup. It's on the November 1st and 2nd, so 2 weeks.
A lot of money on.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money in horse. Yeah.
Too many horses is dying, but they're trying to figure out why. They haven't figured it out.
They have not figured it out. And you know, a lot of people were trying to say, a lot of different entities were just like, you know, we need to figure out the soil, we need to figure out the training, But now a lot of the animal rights organizations want San Diego to just close down. Period. They don't want to find anything. They want it just to be shut down. So
may end up happening.
It may end up happening. You know, if the right people get behind it, it will. If the right money gets behind it, it will be gone. But there's a lot of money in horse racing. In horses, period. They're worth a lot of money. Who's also up in the news is Prince Harry and Prince William. Do you know anything about the royals?
Not too much. Not too much. Nah, I don't follow them too much. Only when I see them on social media or the news. Other than that.
Well, you know, Prince Harry married Meghan Markle.
Correct, from L.A.
From L.A. Hey, from L.A. was Ball Wheels. Ain't she from Ball Wheels? Ain't she from Ball Wheels? Her mom from Ball Wheels?
I think so. I think she is from Ball Wheels.
She a princess now, or a duchess. But anyway, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has just taken a recent trip to Africa. So while he was over there, he did an interview, and a lot of rumors have been going around saying that him and his brother were at odds, and they're like beefing or whatever the case may be. They're brothers. That shit happens. They're like everybody else. But they never said anything about it, so he did this interview and he kind of acknowledged the rift. There's a rift between the two. And he said it he said it in a classy way, but you know, if you know what that kind of talk is and you understand what he meant when he was saying it, because he just was like, during the interview, he was like, well, you know what, the problems come with the life that we live.
Correct.
Of course. But Biggie said, more money, more problems. Money, but he said, we're brothers and we always will be. He's like, if my brother needs me, I'll be there for him and he'll be there for me. Because, you know, just past May, Meghan and Harry moved out of Kensington Palace.
Oh, wow.
But the tea is, or the foolishness is, they said that the real problem is between Kate and Meghan. I guess they're not getting along, or whatever the situation is. Because I don't know what that's about, but he said it had nothing to do with them. This is what he said, whether it's true or not. He did say it had nothing to do with them, but he did say, close sources who are closest to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle did say that Prince Harry does want more independence.
Okay.
Because he's like, he's not worried about the throne. He's like, what, 8th or 7th in line? He's not even worried about nothing like that.
Right.
I mean, he's not like whatever. But he wants to be more independent, and also that Prince William, his brother, his older brother, is concentrating on forming his team, because we knew that there's going to be a change of the reign when their father becomes king.
Okay. Oh,
if that Queen Elizabeth ever let that go. But she holding on to that scepter and that crown.
Yeah, I don't think she went on that.
She's like, whatever. But Meghan Markle did confirm that she was like, it is difficult. It has been difficult because of, you know, being newlyweds and a new mom. But she was like, behind the scenes, there is a little bit of a struggle. So it's a new life for her. She wasn't born into that.
Right.
So, of course, all of it is new. So it could be a lot of situations going on. But, you know, whatever. Also... last week, the internet has been going up in an uproar a little bit because of Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union have posted a very accepting picture and caption of his youngest son, Zion, who's 11, wanting to be a girl. So he's his trans daughter now. So he posted a picture on his Instagram, I think on one of his stories last week, and he was like, he was 2 hearts, and he was like, love my girls. And it was a picture of Gabrielle Union, of course, their little baby girl, Kavia, and Zion.
Wow.
I know. It's different. And you know what I'm like? But is that bad?
You know what? To each his own. But
okay.
But when you begin to put it all out on social media, be ready for the backlash.
That's the only. You know what? I'm all for. Of course, I'm clearly all for accepting and and being supportive. But to be that young.
Right. I think that's a little. I think that's a little too much to
be that young and to have to. Is this baby who is 11 years old really clear on what all that's going to come with? It's already hard enough that you are the child of this legendary superstar basketball player.
Correct.
And what that comes with. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I don't think that they're putting the child in a very good position to accept it. They'll be bullied in school. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they go to a private school, but.
Still.
Yeah, they're going to be bullied in school, and then they're going to have to go through, probably counseling to deal with what they're going to be dealing with at a young age, at 11.
Okay.
That's hard.
I mean, it could be a lot. It could be it could be a lot, but at the same time, it also could be something that is an example or a teaching for other parents out there who may be dealing with something like this, or who maybe have children. Because Dwayne Wade Clear is the only person who has a child that wants to transition into another gender. And the whole family this past April, the whole family he took the whole family to Miami Pride.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say?
I think we shouldn't sleep on the mind of an 11-year-old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like when I think back, when I was 11, I want to say I was kind of smart.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you were clear, and I think it's the age where you're clear on what you like.
Exactly. So I think his son probably is not worried about that. Mm-mm. For him to be that young to even say that,
I want to be a girl.
You know what I mean? I think he's kind of peeped the game. He know what the landscape is right now at this point. So,
well, not only that, he's probably being put in that. He's being influenced, becoming around a lot of different, athletes, different, different individuals in that lifestyle.
Wouldn't that influence be more? I mean, you have to realize, especially when you deal about a celebrity or a sports celebrity or sports star, that in basketball, that's a very hyper masculine sport.
Correct.
So that's going to be pushing you boy. It's okay for you to do this.
Right.
I think it is good that it's coming from Dwayne Wade though, because although basketball is a hyper masculine sport, for those who follow the NBA, they're very big on accepting and stuff like that. They have Pride Week and stuff like that.
They do.
So I think D Wade being, a lot of people look at him as like the leader.
Okay.
Of the players at the time. I mean, he's retired now, but he was
retired now.
He was looked upon as one of those elder statesmen who people just respected him.
Right. Right.
And I think I think it's a good move. I think people will look at it like, oh, this is D Wade. Oh,
I mean, I think that it sends a message, especially. I think if parents were more understand, no matter what your child's choices are, because as parents, what you have to realize is that you are there to guide, because you don't know what God has set forth for this child to be in their life. You are there to guide and to nurture. So if you can even if it's something you don't understand, if you are there like, whatever you're deciding or wanting to do, I support you. That does, I feel, in my opinion, keeps you from making detrimental decisions in life or poor decisions. Knowing you're supported, you won't go out there and have reckless behavior.
Good point.
There's no reason for you to act out or do things obstinate to what your parents love and what their raising may be for you, because you're like, I'm supported.
I kind of think a lot of kids now are being, forced or either watching other kids or social media to get attention. Not to say that that's what Dwayne Wade's son is doing. But I think a lot of kids are following other individuals to get attention.
I mean, I think that, my personal thoughts, period, about Dwayne Wade is that he's attention whore anyway. But I don't. Yeah. Right. But I don't think that this was a move. I didn't take this as a move like that. To a degree, maybe.
I think
because you could do this in private.
And see, that's the point where,
Because what if next week this child say, I don't want to do that?
Right. So when you begin to already bring it out full circle,
now you're accountable.
You're accountable, but not only that, you put that child on a pedestal to be knocked down because one, that's Dwayne Wade's child, and two, he's now being pressured to live up to what he just said he wanted to become.
Not even knowing what that really means.
And I guarantee at 11 years old, he does not know what that means.
I'll say this, it's one thing to say that, you know what, I'm a boy who likes boys, or a girl who likes girls, or a boy who likes girls, or a girl who likes boys. It's one thing to say that. It's a whole other thing to say, you know what, I want to be a completely different gender.
Right. So
that's a different kind of understanding. Because being a woman is more than just sleeping with men and putting on a dress. Being a man is more than just sleeping with a woman and putting on underwear, boxers, or whatever you men do. So it is more to it than that. And I think that maybe they're just as a family trying to figure that out. And God bless them on their journey. I just think that, I guess it is, the whole thing about putting out there publicly is a double-edged sword. It's kind of good in the sense of, you're teaching other parents what to do, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, now you are almost like a
target
target or a representative for it. Isn't that one of the reasons why, what's his name, the Old Town Road, Lil Nas X said he didn't want to become, like, he didn't want to really say it because he like, I don't want to be the poster child for homosexuality like that, because he's like, I don't even know what that is, I don't know what that means, and I'm this age, So I think that, which I think was a very smart decision, but it came out anyway. But anyway, that's what's going on in the news right now. So what we're going to do, friends, we're going to take a little song break, and we're going to come back and we're going to plop down and chit chat with Mr. J.MYLES. Can we do that?
Let's do it.
We could do that? Cool. I dress so fresh, so clean. Speaking of being so fresh and so clean. We are back, friends. Thank you so much for tuning back in to PLOPP Life. People love other people's problems. Please make sure that you are following us on all social media outlets. Make sure that you are going to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram and following PLOPP, P.L.O.P.P. Life, L-I-F-E. Thank you so very much. Anyway, we are back now with Mr. J.MYLES. In case you do not know, this is the man here. The man, the myth, the legend.
Okay, how you doing, people? I'm back.
He is our guest for this week, and he is here we're going to talk all about what he does. And we marketed, when we put you on there, it was like, well, what does he do? Well, he's an image consultant for the J.MYLES program. Well, first of all, where are you from?
I am originally from Bakersfield, California.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Bake.
From Bakersfield, California, originally born and raised.
Okay.
Now I'm here in Los Angeles. Been out here for about 10 years now, and the J.MYLES program is.
How long have you been in it? You say you've been in LA for 10 years?
For 10 years.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from California, but I moved back here from Atlanta 10 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
What made you move to Los Angeles?
After my parents passed away, I just needed a change.
Okay.
So after my dad passed away.
So you lived in Bakersfield your whole life?
My whole life.
Okay.
Bakersfield my whole life.
Okay.
So I came out here, got married, got divorced, and been just basically sitting on the J.MYLES program for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And it's, the J.MYLES program is based on African American boys that have a relationship with their kids, men, or didn't have a relationship with their sons.
Okay.
And the vision of the J.MYLES program to increase academic behavioral in our black boys.
Okay. How did you come up with the name J.MYLES program? J.MYLES. What is J.MYLES?
J.MYLES stands for, my son's name is Miles.
Okay.
Last name Jameson.
Okay.
So that's where I got the name J.MYLES.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you just took the first letter of your last name and his first name?
And my son's first name.
Okay.
And I created the J.MYLES program.
Okay.
So it
Go on, I'm listening to you.
So, the history behind it is a lot of our boys, they have to understand that you dress.
You mean black boys?
Black boys, our black boys, dress how you want to be addressed.
Who? Okay. That's interesting you say that because my grandmother always told me, dress for the job you want, not the one that you have.
Correct.
And that has worked for me my entire life. But go ahead.
So dress how you want to be addressed is when you look at from the athletes, you look at entertainment, you look at all across the board, how do our black boys dress in public?
You mean with the pants sagging and...
Yeah, whether it's going to school, whether it's, as they say, going to church, come as you are. But when you go to an interview, what are you really supposed to wear to an interview? A lot of our boys don't understand a power suit, a power tie. Always presentation. Always wear a white shirt to an interview.
Okay. Why do you always wear a white shirt to an interview?
White shirt is a power look.
Okay.
So a red, blue, a gray
shirt?
Tie.
Okay.
Is a power tie. If you look at politics, you look at most politicians wear a red or a blue tie.
They do.
With a white shirt.
But doesn't that normally signify if they're red, they're Republican, blue, they're Democrat?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It basically signifies, I'm walking into the room, I'm demanding attention, and I'm here for an interview.
Okay.
And I just want to piggyback off of that.
Go ahead.
Nipsey, right? Nipsey was known,
Nipsey Hussle, big ass.
Big crip or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And, a lot of people criticize him. It's like, bro, man, why you always rocking red? Why is the imaging on your mixtape, on your album color is red? And he was just basically saying, like what you were saying, that red, it captures the attention. You know what I'm saying? Business-wise, you want to capture people's attention to your product, to your program, yada, yada, yada. So just wanted to piggyback off of that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. So, the J.MYLES, it's a program for...
What age groups?
From 5 to 25.
And how do they become a part of it?
Basically, to become a part of it, I'm in the process of putting on a conference.
Look over here too, babe. Right. Your fault like that.
Right. To put on a conference for the J.MYLES program to bring our boys out to be developed in dress how you want to be addressed, academics, learn how to basically, when you're walking down the street with your young lady, what side of the street do you walk down? Do you walk down the inside? Do you walk down the outside?
Outside, they better.
Right. So bringing the boys together and teaching them, so they can be developed in the right way, because we don't have
some etiquette too.
Right. We don't have anything for our boys. Whether when you walk into a room,
you're right.
Do you pull a chair out for the young boy, for the young ladies? Do you open the car door for the young lady to get in the car? Do you wait for her to get in the car before you get in the car? So we're pulling together a whole program to where when they get in the program, they can be taught how to become a young man, dress how you want to be addressed.
You know what? Now that thinking about you, have struck gold with this, because let me tell you something. Especially like you said, we don't have anything for our young black men, but only thing we have for young black men is a lot of things telling them how much of a fuck up they are and what they're doing wrong. There's no programs to say, hey, come here, let me give you a solution to this.
Right.
Instead of just telling you, don't pull your pants up. Don't wear your pants down. Pull your pants up.
Right.
Then what?
And I think the biggest problem that we have is for the men that have boys.
Okay.
They're trying to figure out how to raise their boys and or give them guidance when they don't have it. I'm prime example.
Okay.
I have an 18-year-old son.
Okay. You have just one son?
I have one son.
Okay.
That's basically what this program is all about. Me not having a relationship with my son.
Oh.
So it's more behind just...
You have one with him now?
Excuse me?
You said you didn't have a relationship with your son?
My son lived in the Bay Area.
Okay.
I lived in Bakersfield.
Okay.
So once I moved out here, he was still in Oakland, California.
How old was he?
From 8 months old to 18.
Okay.
So I'm a prime example of, I experienced it myself as a father. Not having a one-on-one relationship with my son.
Okay.
So that's basically why the J.MYLES program was created, was birthed, because of my relationship.
How is your relationship with your son today?
It's not as good as it should be.
Okay.
But working with this program and developing it and having him working with other kids, once I get him into the program, I think it will develop him in a way that he needs to be. Because there's a lot of fathers that don't have relationships with their kids.
That's true.
And we don't have programs to bring them all in, have the father sit there, have the kids sit there with the sons, and talk about why I didn't have a relationship. But it's not always the father's fault why they didn't have a relationship with their sons.
Okay. Now, what do you say for the person who says, okay, you have this program and it's set up to get these, to bond, to formulate and sometimes ignite the bond between father and son, especially amongst black people. What do you say to the person that says, well, your relationship with your son is not where it should be, so how can you tell me what to do with mine?
Basically, that's a prime example, because I know that I'll probably be approached with that, but with the program,
Has the program started?
No, it'll be starting by the first of the year.
Okay. No, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
So basically, I can explain to them the relationship I had and didn't have.
Okay.
And talk to the men and say, how can we change the dynamic of what the relationship that we don't have? Because there has to be a way that we could change how our boys are being treated, how we're not having relationships with them, whether it's with the mom, but now it's mostly with us, the dads, having a productive relationship with these boys.
So is this somehow going to formulate a better bond between you and Miles?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Does he know that you're doing this program?
He knows about it.
Does he want to be a part of it?
That's something that we haven't talked about.
Okay. But you guys do talk now,
Yes,
though.
yes, we
talk.
talk.
Good.
Yes, we talk all the time.
Okay, good.
You know, he's going through some struggles right now, but that's going to be something that we deal with and work past.
But he's going through struggles, but he feels comfortable telling you about these struggles.
Yes.
Okay, and he listens to your advice?
He listens, but it's more of now trying to get to know where it's coming from versus he knows I'm his dad, but by us not really having a close bond relationship, what a lot of fathers go through is they're fighting through a lot of different obstacles to be father.
History.
fighting through the past, because I know that you are definitely on the right track, and I can tell that you have great advice. But you know, sometimes the kid is always like, well, you can't tell me nothing because you weren't there for A, B, and C.
Right.
Like that, but one can have absolutely nothing to do with the other.
Correct.
Does he understand that?
Yes, he understands.
Okay.
I think, like I said, it goes back to the biggest thing is we could talk about the relationship, but it goes back to the etiquette. Mm-hmm. How do you present a program that's going to develop the kids to change their mindset? That's where we got to start.
So
changing.
you're coming from a place of what I wasn't able to actually do, or wasn't afforded the opportunity to do. And let's say you weren't afforded the opportunity to do. You're coming from that place and saying, hey, do this, let's try that.
Right.
Okay. So how long is the program? How long will the program be once they enter?
It's like a 7-week program.
7 weeks? Okay.
Right. And we're basically developing them how to, fill out an application. Mm-hmm. What to wear to an interview.
Okay.
How do you sit when you go to an interview?
Right.
The cologne you wear to an interview.
Do you wear cologne?
Uh-huh. Your hygiene.
Okay.
And bringing jobs to the program to where once they finish the program, they can then go to those particular jobs and say, okay, I have James. He went through the 7-week program. Mm-hmm. He's now ready to start working for you.
Okay. Who do you have backing you for this program?
Like I said, I have Brian Mitchell, which is a former NFL player.
Right.
I have Theola Wynn. I have another surgeon that's in Chicago, Illinois. His name is, can't catch his name now.
That's okay.
I have Maui, which is out of Miami, Florida. He has a program that he works with the kids through Dade County.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of his program?
Oh.
It don't matter. I just thought maybe you
remember.
Yeah,
he's out of Miami, Florida.
But it's in relation, like the same.
The same type of program.
Like
but what he does, he teaches the kids about surfing on the water.
Oh.
So he's on the water with the kids pretty much 8 to 10 hours a day.
That's a full body workout.
And I have another NFL player named Vernon Fox.
Okay.
Out of Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
He also endorse the program. So I have some pretty good individuals that are endorsing it, and I'm just looking to take it to the next level.
Now, if anybody wanted to be a part of this program, it's in the Los Angeles area, right?
Right, it's in the Los Angeles area.
Okay, how would they go about doing that?
You can contact me on J.MYLES Image or my cell.
You got to spell that because people might spell it wrong.
It's J.MYLES, one word. Or my cell number is 909.
Okay, come on, cell number. Go ahead.
Hey, you got to contact 272-7792.
909-272.
7792.
7792. So they can call you directly.
Yes, they can.
And they can go to, you said you have a website?
No, I'm working on the website now. I have a couple of gentlemen that's working on the website right now, and we can get it out as soon as possible.
So if they want to find out more information, they can either call your cell phone or they can reach you on social media?
Yes.
Okay. And that's at J.MYLES, J.MYLES Image.
Image, one word.
One word. IMAGE. You got to say it just like you're saying it for like 3-year-olds.
Right.
Or either, not that anybody can't comprehend, but you just want to make sure people go to the right space.
Right. Or either Facebook, which is my name, Stan Jamison. STANJAMISON.
Okay. Is there a cost for the program?
Yeah, we're working on it. It'll be like the program cost per kid will be $50, or if you have
7 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Or if you have 2 kids, it'll be $100. So it'll be $50 per kid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we're gonna have backpacks. We're gonna have hats. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have T-shirts, and also there's a particular book that President Obama wrote.
Okay.
Called "If I Had a Son," that we're looking to get and also put in the backpack for the kids.
Okay.
100-page book to where they can understand.
That's not too long.
Right.
Quick read.
So
is there going to be a curriculum?
Right. We have an academic curriculum, but I don't want to really get too in depth in the curriculum. But what we have is individuals that are administrators in school that can teach the curriculum. And because once you get into the curriculum, you didn't have to get it certified by the state of California to where individuals are teaching actual curriculum. Okay. But we'll have the kids responsible to bring their grades, let us know that, okay, you're getting a good grade.
So like a tutoring situation.
Right, to be in the program. So it's just not, you're just coming to be in it. We want to see all aspects of your behavior in class, your behavior in school, your chores that you're doing at home, the whole nine.
So is there a prerequisite or a requirement for entering the program? Or do you have to just be a young black boy between the age of 5 and 25?
Right. It's just...
That's it?
The requirement is...
And the $50.
Right. 5 to 20...
5, 25, 50.
Right.
Who play them numbers? 5, 25, 50. Is that numbers? Anyway, go ahead.
we want to get our young black boys back on track because we're losing a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
it's a foolishness.
So I think with this program, it's going to bring awareness to the black community to where how can our kids get in this program to change what's going on in the world?
Where do you see this program being in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I would say next 2 to 3 years. I want to take it. I want to take it all across the country.
Okay.
Basically, I want to take it to every state and teach this program for 7 weeks. And go to another state.
Oh, it's like a tour.
Right. It's going to be like a mobile tour.
So not like satellite locations, it's a tour.
It's going to be a mobile tour to where, say, school districts, YMCA, if they want the program to be taught in their schools, we can bring it to their schools. We can bring it to their
after-school programs.
Yeah, the whole nine.
How long, like, during the day? I know you said 7 weeks, but how long during the day will the program be? Is it like an hour a day? Is it 5 days a week? Every other? Like, how do you?
Well, if it's would it be
for now?
For now, it'll be like a couple hours, maybe like 2, maybe 3 hours, to start developing the kid in different aspects, like the mission, what the history is, because basically we're gonna try to embed in them how you dress when you leave out your house is very important. To where when individuals see you, they can say, okay, that person is put together. He's carrying himself well. He's conducting himself well in the community. So we want to change the dynamic of what other individuals think about our boys.
Okay. We all have something in place to gauge where certain young men are? Because some young men may know this, some may not know anything at all.
Right.
Do you mix them all up together, or do you figure out who knows what?
We'll have individuals. Right. We'll have individuals that'll talk to the kids on a one-on-one, and also talking to their parents will give us a lot of guideline, a lot of information on what their child, as far as education,
what they've been exposed
to, whether it's been violence, whether we want to know exactly what the child has been up against for the last,
Will you guys deal with the psyche of the child? Like, will you guys have psychologists?
Yeah. Okay. We'll have psychologists. My cousin is a nurse, so each place we go, we'll have these particular individuals there to where they're aware of what's going on. If anything happens.
Will you teach them about relationships?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
I think
because you're dealing with 5 to 25.
Right.
So very young to adults who can vote and drink and do everything else.
Right. So it's going to be a whole program to where we teach them about relationships, what's going on in schools, what's going on in your community. Are you doing anything in your community? We want to make sure these kids are doing something in their community to where they can also, when they go back to their community, they can develop in other kids.
Okay.
And also bring those kids to the program.
A little bit earlier we were speaking about the whole, I guess, I don't want to say coming out of, but the whole posting about Dwayne Wade and his son Zion and whatever the case may be. Of course, if a young man wants to be a woman, they wouldn't be able to be part of that program because they would identify as a woman. But what about men? Because you have young boys, you have teenagers, and then you have men who are all a part of this program who identify as maybe gay or same gender loving. How do you incorporate those guys into those program as well, and how do you deal with that?
Which that probably will be something that'll happen.
Okay.
I haven't had that happen. I don't know. So when it happens, then
because they still have to know how to dress and to conduct themselves as well.
Right. So I think my take on it is, again, it goes back to, if you come into the program, you're conducting yourself the way you need to conduct yourself. You take that out, and then you start developing it on your own. Because if you come into the program and you start, whether barking how you feel or what you want to do, then the program won't help you. So basically, whether it's the gay gender or whatever the case may be, won't turn it down.
Well, not the gender. Because that's something totally different. Because if you want to be a woman, you wouldn't be a part of the
wouldn't be part. Right.
But I'm just saying, for those, but there are lots of we live in a community with lots of different people.
Correct.
Who like lots of different things.
Right.
So that's why I was asking you about those guys who will you teach the guys about relationships? Now, when you speak about that, most times especially for young black boys, it's again, hypermasculinity is impressed upon young black boys.
Right.
So but for some of those boys sitting there who may be like, I don't really like women, but feeling pressured or feeling, made without being ostracized, especially because, there was this video that went around just yesterday. It went viral. It's horrible, but there was a group of black boys, and they're chilling or whatever the case may be. And one of the boys talks to the other young man and says, how come you didn't tell me that you were bisexual or gay or whatever the case may be? And the boy's like, who did you hear that from? And all 5 of the boys commits to beating the shit out of him based on that.
Wow.
What they heard or what they think or what his life may be.
Right.
So I think it would help even if you don't speak to, okay, this particular person is gay or whatever the case may be, and not to harp on this particular subject as long, but as far as incorporating well-rounded individuals, young black men, into society, dealing with differences, and not thinking that you have to whoop somebody's ass and put your hands on somebody because they're different than you.
Right.
Because this is the problem that we're having now with the young black boys, because some of these people, we see it all the time with the cops and stuff like that, who are killing and shooting and arresting them because of their differences.
Correct.
So it works the same way.
Correct.
So it's all about, like Tupac says, the hate you give. So teaching them, like, hey, we don't delve into or won't go completely into, okay, this is how you treat a girl, this is how you treat her, this is how you treat people.
Correct.
You like somebody, treat them this particular way.
Right.
But if you are in a world because the world does not consist of only one race or one type of person.
Correct.
will you teach them about social behaviors?
Right.
And social acceptance and things of that. Okay.
I think, not to, like you said, not to get too in depth in it, but,
it's really,
it's
small, but it's big.
Right. Teaching the boys about social behavior and also teaching them how to conduct themselves on social media.
Okay.
So, a lot of times, our black boys are promoting or putting on social media what they see. Instead of saying, okay, is this something that I should even put on social media? They want likes.
Not thinking about tomorrow.
Not thinking about tomorrow. They're just worrying about, okay, I need likes. I need to get likes. By
any means.
By any means necessary. Instead of saying, okay, will this hurt somebody? Will this, damage somebody's, psyche? It's just more so we have to teach our black boys that they have to conduct themselves in a way that they want to be treated.
Right. I'm just going back line. Okay, I'm with that. Hi, Choo Choo. She was like, hi, miss you, boo. So, what would be something that would keep you from accepting someone?
I don't think anything would stop me from accepting someone. I think the biggest thing would be if they're willing to come into the program and be developed and also learn from what the program has to offer.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing. Being able to just come in, learn, and be developed.
Okay.
Because,
So nothing can get them put out. I mean, or keep it, or reject it.
Nothing. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Because we don't want to be rejected.
No, that's the whole thing about the J.MYLES program is bringing in our boys to be accepted and also being able to learn the program and be able to be taught.
Okay. Teachable.
Teachable.
Because, a lot of... So how would you, what is it? Because this is something that's like a private situation. It's not connected to a particular organization or to the school district or something like that.
Right.
So how do you deal with reprimanding someone who is not following orders or not doing or following and I don't say orders, direction or suggestion or who is just like being, completely disruptive?
Calling the parents, calling the fathers immediately to have the fathers come down.
Now, what if the father's not involved?
Well, we want to get the fathers involved, but if they're not, just bring them in and talk to them to find out why they're conducting themselves that way.
Now, I'm talking about some while they're there in the program. For instance, if they're there, y'all doing ABC and they just keep acting out.
Right.
How do you deal with that?
Just bring them out of the classroom and talk to them like they were in a regular classroom.
Okay.
And
so it's a classroom setting.
Right. It'll be a classroom setting, but they'll be in their own individual classroom. But it'll also be a classroom setting to where, if they're acting up, we pull them out and say, okay, is there a problem? Is there something we need to,
So like an individual basis.
Individual basis. Nothing will be ever done in a group setting to where feel like they're being embarrassed or
berated.
We don't want to do that.
Okay.
We want to build our boys up instead of breaking them down.
That's right. So tell the friends out there again how they can be involved and getting more information. Do you have literature out there for anybody to be able to read?
Yes, I already have a brochure that I'm working on right now.
Come on, brochure.
And it'll be available. I'm getting ready to get them printed out now.
Okay.
And I'll make sure you would get one.
Yeah.
So we can start getting them circulated here in the area.
And where can they find out more information about you?
Instagram, J.MYLES Image, one word. Also Facebook, Stan Jamison, STAN.
Mr. Stan.
JAMISON.
Yes. And your cell phone number again?
Cell phone number is 909-272-7792.
And they can call when?
As soon as possible.
Well, you don't want them. I'm talking about what hours. You don't want them calling you.
The hours of 8 to 5.
Okay, so regular business hours.
Regular
for those
business
who don't know, because some people don't know what business hours are. 8 to 5, Monday, every day of the week, or just Monday through Friday?
Every day of the week.
Okay.
Except Sundays.
Except Sunday.
Okay. And now I want to change it up a little bit,
Okay.
Mr. J.MYLES. We do this portion of our show where it's called a little bit. You know, there was a name for it on a different. Well, we're trying to look for a name for it.
Mm-hmm.
There is a particular segment on TV One on their online where they do like this thing called Too Many Damn Questions.
Okay.
When they interview somebody and it's just like some questions you just ask and you just off the top of your head, it just insight about you.
Okay. Oh,
questions,
okay.
So I haven't got a name for it, but I think I might have a name for A+. Post haste personal plop. No, that's too much.
Yeah, that's kind of long.
It is. But it's just a little segment. I wasn't even saying this part of the interview.
Okay.
So we just get a little bit in your business a little bit. So I'm going to ask you some questions. You just ask them on the top of your head, and it'll be pretty quick, okay?
It's the plop seat.
The plop, The plop seat.
The
Come
plop
on.
seat.
You in the plop seat.
Okay, all
You
right.
ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. What is the catchiest jingle that you know?
Wow. Catches jingle.
An advertisement. Period.
Oh man. I'm gonna do the Christmas thing. You know, when the Rudolph the
That's not a jingle.
That's a song.
It's not a jingle. A jingle is like a commercial.
Okay.
Like accidents called Jacob and
Ronnie
Ronnie called Jacob. Like that. Like,
I swear to God, that's what I was thinking about.
you were.
I
See,
was about
the
to sing
kitchen.
that.
You're in LA. You
I
always
was
do
gonna
that.
even talk about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's not a jingle. Well,
That's-
I would
That
take
is
that.
a. Yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I will take it. It's
Okay.
not really a jingle, but it's okay. It's not a jingle. But we'll take it as a jingle. Let me ask. Okay, another question. If you could have a superpower, or if you could be a comic book character, would you be a hero or a villain?
I'll be a hero.
And what would your name be?
J.MYLES.
J.MYLES. Okay. Now,
I'm gonna go back to it.
there's a difference between being famous and being infamous.
Okay.
And most people, we all know when you're infamous, you're really famous for something that's kind of like, you know, being a villain or something bad. And I think that's
Right.
something good.
Right.
What infamous person do you think you could probably kind of understand?
What infamous person? Wow.
I didn't want to say relate to because I didn't want to put you down there, but what person did you say, you know what, maybe?
Wow. We got to table that one. Come back
No,
to
we
it.
don't. It's not that kind of
We can't even table it,
It's
huh?
quick. No, it's just quick. We don't come back to it. It's gonna be over in a minute.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Do you know anybody infamous? Of course you do. Lots of people are infamous. You have a Jeffrey Dahmer. You have a Ted Bundy. You have all these. Any infamous person, or they could be famous for anything. Like it's, they don't have to necessarily be serial killers. Just
Infamous person. Wow.
what infamous person do you know off the top of your head?
I'm just gonna say Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, that's one I gave you. But that's okay. If you could start any charity, what would it be?
The J.MYLES.
Not the J.MYLES program.
If I can start anyone.
That's not a charity.
No.
That's the program.
Okay.
Charity.
For a charity for at-risk kids, which would be called Building a Community and Taking It Back.
Okay. This question has been asked every week because I usually ask a different question. No two people have had the same questions except for this one.
Mm-hmm.
If there was an envelope with the date of your death in it, would you open it?
No.
Okay. What to you tells you the most about a person?
Their eyes.
Okay. Who is your celebrity crush?
Neil Long.
Okay. What do you wish was illegal?
What do I wish that was illegal? Kids buying marijuana at an early age.
That is illegal. What do you wish was illegal?
That's not illegal.
That
though.
is illegal.
No, it's not.
It is illegal.
Not in California.
It is illegal. You have to be 21 to buy weed in Maryland.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
You gotta be 18. See?
Okay, so you're saying kids at an early age. What do you wish was illegal?
What do I wish that was illegal? I mean, kids buying cigarettes at an early age. I mean,
that is illegal.
No, it's
Come on now, you're not doing this right. Come on now. Come on, J.MYLES. Now, yes, that'll be something that you wish was illegal. Do you wish smacking gum was illegal? Do you wish? I mean, what do you wish was illegal?
Throwing gum on the sidewalk was illegal. Let's use that one.
Okay. You just gonna say anything?
I mean,
wow.
You got.
Name 5 places that you want to visit before you die. I'll take 2 from you.
I'm gonna say Italy.
Okay.
Bora Bora.
Okay. Are you gonna say 5?
I'm gonna do 3. You gonna do 2, right?
I wanted 5, but I just said 2 because I know that you don't.
Okay.
You seem to not like guessing anything.
I was on the road, so.
Okay, well, say 5.
Now she's stopping me.
No, I'm not. I was trying to work with you, but
Bora Bora.
Italy, Bora
China.
Bora, China. Okay.
Germany.
One more for the win.
Let's see.
One more for the win. One more.
Turkey.
For the win. Turkey. Okay. Last question. What is the silliest thing that you're good at?
Oh, doing the Bernie Mac impersonation.
Really?
Yeah.
Do one.
Oh, see.
You shouldn't have said that. You know it was going to ask you to do it.
She's gonna bring it. You're talking about Bernie Mac. You goddamn kids. I don't understand. Why is she in the kitchen talking about she hungry? I don't need her to get out the kitchen now. Go back to bed. That's it.
I love it. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Miles. Thank you for participating. That was nice of you. I really appreciate it. I do. I do. So again, you all, we just got a little bit of. He was in the plop seat.
Yeah.
Plop seat. Thank you, A+. All credit to A+ for the takeover. Every time we say plop seat, I'm gonna say that. But thank you so much for being in the plop seat. We really appreciate it. And again, if you want to find out more information about the J.MYLES program, please go to J.MYLES, that's J.MYLES, image on social media. That will be Instagram. And on Facebook, you can look it up under his name, Stan Jamison, which
Correct.
is STAN.
Correct. JAMISON.
Boom. You can call the cell phone number again. Don't call late. Don't call hours of the night. Call between 8 and 5 any day of the week, he said. Monday, 7 days a week. But between 8 and 5. And the number again is?
909-272.
Okay.
7792.
And we will post that on our Instagram and our YouTube and our Facebook. So right now, friends, we're going to take us a small songy break. And we're going to come back and we're going to flip and rotate some issues. Can we do that?
Here we go. Let's go.
Here we go. Hey, that was a little bit of A-Ball and MJG. What up with that? Space age. But anyway, we're back to Plop, People of Other People's Problems. I am here again, joined by the wonderful J.MYLES of the J.MYLES program. And we are going to flip and rotate right now.
Okay.
So the flip and rotate, friends, in case you're just joining us, in case you've never sat and plot with us before, is a portion of the show where we flip and rotate our sofa. So we're on the big green sofa. Let me get a little closer over this way. We're on the big green sofa, and we are flipping our cushions over to see what we've lost and to see what we're looking for and to see anything that we may have, may need, may not need, what the case may be. With flop them pillows. See that here, that sound? That's the pillow.
It's flipping.
So we have a new sofa when it's all done.
Oh, yep, that's it.
First up in the flip and rotate is Northern Ireland abortion and same-sex marriage law. This law has been on the books in Ireland since 1861 and has never been changed.
Oh, wow.
Even though we know that the UK runs Ireland. They have never extended the anti-abortion and same-sex marriage law to Ireland. We know that they have had they don't have an anti-abortion they're accepting in the UK since 1967. However, at the stroke of midnight on Monday, that law has changed. Now, their government leaders have not met in 3 years. So this was a big thing. So UK, the Westminster gave them a deadline of October 21st to get this shit together, or we're going to do it ourselves.
Oh, wow.
So they met up and they figured it out. So because Northern Ireland had one of the most restrictive abortion laws in the world. Their abortion laws were life imprisonment. You couldn't get an abortion under any circumstance. I don't care if it was rape, incest, the fetus was going to be messed up. No reason could you get one. So a lot of women who lived in Northern Ireland had to travel abroad, like to London, whatever, in order to get abortions.
Wow.
So they changed this up, and they said that the countdown on Monday, Monday morning at midnight, they said it looked reminiscent of New Year's Eve. People were in the streets celebrating and counting it down like it was New Year's Eve.
Wow.
For the abortion laws, but they won't go into effect until, I think for the abortion law doesn't go into effect until March of next year. But as of now, it's not illegal any longer. But as far as like the clinics and stuff like that, won't go into effect till March. And I think for the same sex marriage, we all on same gender level tonight, ain't we? But that law won't be changed. I mean, that won't go into effect either until, was for the marriage is concerned, until I think April of next year. But that's what that was, honey. So, but one of the ladies, Arlene Foster, who is the Democratic Union Party leader, she said it's a sad day. She was upset about it.
About the law being changed?
Yes. I guess she's for abortion and against same-sex marriage. I don't know whatever you want to call it. But she also says, she said to the people celebrating to think about the people who are sad today and how this is an affront to human dignity. Do you have any personal thoughts about this, or would you like to keep them to yourself? Because you're more than what we don't force anything on nobody.
No, I don't really have any personal thoughts on it.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you think, I mean, because I know lots of people are like on the fence about like abortion, or, you know, men marrying men and women marrying women. When some people just really want to just be loved. And some people, as far as abortion is concerned, I think that nobody should tell a person what to do with their body.
Correct. I mean, you know, when you're dealing with abortion, I think if a woman has been molested or raped, you know, that's something that woman has to deal with for the rest of her life. So to tell her that she can't is a tough thing to say.
Well, you're right. Another thing that may be tough to say for some people, that may not be tough for the others to say, is the N-word. N-I-G-G-A, Negro, nigga, whatever the case may be. But there was a gentleman by the name of Marlon Anderson who was a security guard at a school. And another one of the black young men who probably could have used some J.MYLES teaching, called him the N-word. The security guard told him, don't call me that, but he repeated it back, don't call me a you-know.
Right.
And he was fired for saying it. Right.
So he was fired for saying the N-word.
Nigga, you can say it.
Right. So what was the security guards, was he black or?
They both were black.
Oh, okay.
So the little young boy was saying it to him, and your security guard told him, "Don't call me no nigga."
Right.
And so he got fired for saying it, but the little boy had no repercussions.
For saying it to the kid.
Right. So the students went into a frenzy, and they protested him being terminated.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it goes back to a lot of times these kids, they use that word just to be using it.
But how are you even talking like that to an adult?
Because
and calling him that
child,
and feeling that comfortable.
Right. That child has, either his parents are saying it or wherever he's living, he's incorporated that word in his vocabulary and they use it.
But
all
I
the
bet
time.
you, I bet you that I'll bet you any amount of money that even though that may be a part of the culture of where he lives at, he ain't saying it to no other adults in his home.
No,
I bet you he ain't.
No, I don't.
But
think
he felt
doing
comfortable telling somebody
telling
else.
somebody else about that because
Another adult,
and that's the whole issue that we're having with our young boys.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they can say and do whatever they want to do without having, consequences.
But they're saying this. They're saying that they're trying to revisit the laws as far as that's concerned, or whatever the laws in the school are concerned.
Okay.
Whatever the rules in the school or the behavioral rules are in the school, because they're like, even though they're both black, that's still racist. So they're trying to define that a little bit more in the school.
Right.
But the students, it's a testament to the students and them knowing and being sensitive to this, because they protested in support of the security guard.
Right, to get his
losing his job.
Right, to get his job back.
Yes. Even though I think he's suing, and I would think Sacha was telling me that I think Cher is taking care of his legal bills.
What school district is this?
I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's what that happened. Also in the Flip and Rotate is a lady, Joanna Schroeder. Joanna Schroeder is a white woman who's a writer, and she has written this particular article, and she lives here in the LA area actually.
Okay.
She was interviewed on CNN, and she's saying she has warnings for parents of teen white boys. She says if you pay attention to your online if you don't pay attention to the online lives of your children, white supremacists will.
Correct, they will, because they're out there targeting these boys.
Thank you. That's what she said. She said she said they study them, they find out their needs, and they entice them with their propaganda.
Right.
So she said what she did was she found this out because she said she sat down with her sons and she was going down their social media. And so she said as he was flipping real fast through his social Instagram, she saw a picture of Hitler. She said, "Slow down, hold up. Was that Hitler?"
Right.
And she was like, yes, and it was a meme. And the meme was basically a time traveler saying something about Hitler being alive if you should stay alive today for A, B, and C, whatever the case may be. You know, a lot of people have likened our current administration to Hitler and saying he uses a lot of his ways, which he's a lot of similarities in what he does.
Right.
But she said she went through her social media and she was like, she kept going even further, and a lot of those types of memes about making fun of Holocaust and slavery were part of his suggestions in his Instagram.
Wow.
You know how you flip through social media and it gives you extra, like, oh, this you should look at this. Maybe you should be friends with this particular person.
Right.
That was all throughout his Instagram. So she was like, oh my God, like.
Well, it's just like when you look at something on social media.
Okay.
As soon as you look at it, Facebook and Instagram is posting something on your timeline.
Yeah, this is true.
Every time. So,
but I mean, you kind of have to be at some point, whether it be on Instagram or just Google, whatever the case may be, you had to have kind of looked up something that along those lines for it to be a suggestion for you. That's how they get the algorithm to figure that.
Right.
I mean, they don't send me suggestions like that because I don't look up stuff like that.
Right.
But obviously, somewhere else in his Instagram or his social media or online life, like she was saying, he's looking those things up.
Right. He's looking them up somewhere.
Yeah.
So he can't get out of that.
So she says, she was like, a lot of these kids today, especially these young white boys, are being desensitized to things they should be sensitive to.
Right.
So she said when she found out some of this, she said a lot, and she even heard a lot of the alt-right talking points coming from her son, and she went the fuck off. And the husband, she said the husband stopped her and was like, don't do that because you're going to push him further into that life. So she said she backed up because she's like, I'm going to take your phone and da-da-da-da-da. And the husband's like, don't do that because you're going to push him into that.
push her further into
But you
it.
can't just let the shit ride, though.
No,
He's giving you talking points now.
You got to monitor exactly what he's doing.
Yes.
What he's
and
doing.
it went past him just looking at it. He's giving you talking points.
And that's how they get him.
That's how they get him. So but herself, she's a writer, and she is a person who writes on men's issues, and she writes on different things like that. So she says she's used to the online abuse. She's used to being ostracized, and she's used to people opposing her in a horrible manner that don't agree with what she writes. So she understands how people can be online, and she says she does not want to have that for her son. But this was the interesting thing. She was like, a lot of these different groups are not using obvious racist terminology.
They're hiding behind it.
Exactly. And she said, and I'm gonna tell you some of the things I screenshot because I was like, I'm gonna see what some of the things that she said. Listen close, friends, in case you see this shit online. She said the terms that parents need to listen for are when they say snowflake.
Wow.
This is the terms they use. Snowflake. She says they say kek, which is K-E-K, is a form of LOL, which sometimes refers to ironic white nationalists. They say cuck, C-U-K. They say Chad. They say feminoid. They say beta. They say blood and soul. And they also use the numbers 14 and 88 a lot, which because of their association with Hitler and Nazism.
Wow. They put it all
goes
out there.
further than that.
They putting it all out there.
They putting it out there, so they're not just saying the N word and words that we can understand.
Right.
It's like a coded language.
A coded language, right?
And it got so deep there because a lot of us nowadays we do speak to people via memes. Via emojis. We don't even use words no more. We back to like the Egyptians. We just use pictures to have conversations. All the way back in history, like the Egyptians did. But anyway, she said it's the same with various emojis and symbols. So there is a now the bowl cut it pays homage to the hairstyle that the racist killer used when he was in Charleston because he had a bowl cut.
Wow.
They use a glass amount. They use the glass of milk emoji. If you see a glass of milk emoji, they use that to signify white pride and supposed masculinity.
I can see
and
that.
They also use 2 lightning bolts. Because the 2 lightning bolts side by side kind of look like a swastika.
It does.
Yeah. So, and that was, and that right there, that particular research was presented by the Anti-Defamation League last month. So be on the lookout for that. So be mindful of that. If you see that on your friends, or especially if you, like you said, your sons, your kids, if you, well, of course, we probably won't say that because we black, but if you see that anywhere else, as far as commentary is concerned,
right.
Be on the lookout for those kind of people. But yeah.
Very informative.
Thank you. We try to be. But right now, that was all we have for the Flip and Rotate today. So what we're going to do is we're going to take another little break. We're going to come back and talk to about our topic, which is why don't we trust truth? Why don't we trust truth?
Why don't we?
We'll be right back after this little piece of the song.
She say right black.
Right black. Hello, friends. Welcome back to PLOPP Life. People of other people's problems. We are back here with the very wonderful Debonair J.MYLES. He's here with us.
Hello. I'm back. Hello.
Yes, he is. We are back here. Again, if you all want to join the conversation, please call us here in the studio at 310-910-HI Cool Breeze. 310-910-9676. Option 1. You can give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. We try to be informative, honey. Very informative. Please be informed. Hi, Sean. But anyway, we're back here. Again, make sure you're going on all social media and following PLOPP Life, P.L.O.P.P.Life, especially on YouTube. Hit the bell, subscribe. But today's topic is why don't we trust truth? Why don't we trust the truth? You know what? I would first like to ask this question. How do you qualify truth?
Qualified truth is information.
But how do you qualify what truth is? How do you qualify that? Because the lines are blurred between truth and opinion.
Right.
And I think that truth is more considered to be fact, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Truth is fact.
Truth is fact, right? And so actual truth supersedes location and culture. No?
Say that again.
Actual truth supersedes location and culture. For instance, we know that depending on where you live or depending on who your family may be or your neighborhood may be, certain things may be true that other people don't feel like are true.
Correct.
But that's just a part of tradition more so than truth. I mean, I'm just, correct me if stop me if you disagree.
Okay.
But if something is true here, isn't it also true in China?
No.
No?
Because China have different laws and the United States do.
But what about truth, though? I'll give you an example. Tomorrow's A+'s birthday. Is that true?
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
If he were in China, would tomorrow be his birthday?
It'll be my birthday right now.
Yeah, right now.
But the date is October 22nd, right?
23rd.
23rd. October 23rd is your birthday.
Yes.
So if we're in China, is October 23rd your birthday?
Yes.
Okay. If we're down the street, is October 23rd your birthday?
Yes.
Does truth not supersede location and culture or not? Because we have to qualify truth first.
Supersede location and culture.
You gotta think about that for a little
bit.
Right.
Whatever's true is true. If I'm black here, I'm black in Africa. If I'm black here, I'm black in... that's something that's truth.
Right.
So that's truth. It's not an opinion.
Right.
That's something that's true because Go ahead.
In that case, yeah, it is.
I'm sorry.
It is correct.
Okay. I'm just asking if you disagree.
No. When you break it down and make it again informative, like one of your guests was saying.
Because we're talking about truth.
Right. We're talking about truth. What is the truth?
Okay.
So that's the truth. If we in Africa, his birthday is tomorrow, which would be another day tomorrow.
Right.
It would be his birthday on that day.
Yeah. No matter where you are in the world, my name is Deshon. No matter where I'm in the world, my name is Deshon.
Right.
Now, there may be opinions of what you guys are speaking about based on where I am. Somebody may be like, bitch. They would be called that. Somebody may be saying, that's opinion. But the fact is, my actual name is Deshon.
Right.
Now, people can use other names too. Like this young boy was trying to do this other man, the security guard, Marlon, he called him the N-word.
Right.
But that's what he felt like he was. But that's not the truth of the matter of who he is.
That's not his name.
No, it's not his name. And that's not who he is either, right?
Correct.
So, does truth require you to believe in it?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Because individuals could say, well, where is that truth coming from?
Okay.
Is there any facts?
But isn't that personalizing it then?
Yeah, but that's what's going on. It's like the thing with LeBron and China and this whole China and the NBA.
Okay. Which is what? For the friends who may not know what you're talking about.
I guess there was a certain incident where one of the general managers for the Houston Rockets made a comment and it got blown out of proportion.
Okay.
So now everyone is saying LeBron was just basically, protecting his money and his brand, which rightfully so. You protect your money and your brand. He has a endorsement deal with Nike, and Nike is made where? Over in China.
So was he protecting truth or was he protecting his money?
I think he was protecting truth because he was basically saying, again, if you're not informative on what you're speaking of and you make a statement.
What was said?
I don't know exactly what was said, but whatever one of the general managers from the Houston Rockets, China got mad and said they were pulling everything that came from the NBA.
He said something derogatory about Chinese people?
Well, I think he was saying about freedom of speech because I heard Shaq talking about it today.
Okay.
It was about freedom of speech.
Okay.
And we know United States has freedom of speech.
We do.
Over in China,
that's communism.
Right. They're basically saying you can't say what you want.
You sure cannot. You can't look at what you want. You can't look up nothing that you want to. You have to get internet from the government.
Right. So, it's the thing where
in case people don't know.
It's where they're saying in China you can't do what you want. And Shaq was stating and making the fact that here in the United States, social media, we can put it out there and go across the world within minutes. Freedom of speech.
Okay. So, do you believe that a belief is the basis for every ethical discussion?
A belief?
Like, if you're going to have a discussion about ethics,
okay,
do you have to have a belief system in order to have a discussion about what you think is ethical?
I think you should. I mean, whenever you're having a intellectual discussion about anything, you should have a basis of what you're speaking of.
Right? But does your belief system have to come into play when you're talking about something that's ethical?
All depends on what you're speaking of.
Okay.
Because a lot of people's going to believe what they want to believe, even when they see it on social media. A lot of times what they see on social media is not true.
Absolutely.
It's just something.
I always say social media and but a bunch of lies.
It's just something that people are putting out there to perpetrate what they're really not.
Well, I'll say it like this. I think a lot of times social media is the reason I say it's not real is because people are only putting on social media the high points of their life, and
Correct.
no one lives their life in high points.
Correct. All the
Only
time.
that you see certain things.
Right.
Like for instance, they said the people about fronting about I look at all this money I got, but it be their rent money.
Right.
Like they really got it, because if you ask them for $2 or $3, like I ain't got it, but you just showed $2,000 on your paper.
You're
But
right.
that's okay. But you know what? People stand on the ground of completely different realities, right?
Right.
So people have different realities of what it is. And you can't hear nothing? I don't know why I do that on this phone. Do I got to turn it off again? Turn it on again?
Just turn it all the way up. So you got it down.
Hold on. But is something not real just because I don't believe it?
No, not necessarily. If you
Or
don't,
because I don't see it?
right. If you don't see it nor believe, that doesn't mean it's not real.
Okay. Because that's what I think a lot of people base their truth in that. Like, I don't see that.
Right.
For instance, you have people who have these differing opinion about, our current administration, or just, we'll take it to this particular level. Some people believe, because can two things be true at the same time? For instance, some people say, you know what? Police officers are bad. And you can say police officers are good. Can both of those things be true?
Truth is relative. So yes.
Okay.
To answer your question.
Okay. But for some people's reality, they don't see that.
True.
For most people's realities, most of those people being people who look like us, they see that.
Yep. There's good officers and there are bad officers.
Okay.
Bottom line.
But you have a lot of people who are like us who say they don't trust the police.
Correct. Because, they've been put in a position to not trust the police because of what's been going on for the last...
We're just using it as an example, friends. But go ahead.
20, 30 years. So
okay.
The biggest thing I think with the police is a lack of communication with the public.
Okay.
Because when you don't have communication skills and or wanting to communicate with different races, then you have an issue with what you have right now.
Okay.
Of not being able to effectively communicate with the public.
So just because you don't see something doesn't mean it's not real. I asked you earlier 5 places that you want to visit before you die.
Okay.
And you told me, for instance, one of those places was Turkey. You've never seen Turkey. Does that mean Turkey doesn't exist?
I know it exists.
Exactly. So I mean, a lot of this is just really just coming from, especially with this particular topic, is coming from a place of where we are now in society, and I would venture to say not only in America but in the world. Like, people are just not believing, or not wanting to believe the truth about
what different people are going through, because I think a lot of people don't think that it's real, because what we see on television, how we treat people, online, we think of people as being disposable and things as being disposable, and that can't be true, because I've never seen that happen. So that's not true. When someone in your face is telling you, yes, it is,
they don't believe it because it's not happening to them.
Exactly. And usually disbelief comes from this whole situation of fake news.
Right.
And a lot of people, we know that kind of got, insurged into society based on, again, 45, disputing anything anyone else says is got to be fake news if it is not an agreement to him. But what people don't realize is that those are the same tactics Hitler used. I'm going to tell you what to believe.
Right,
I'm going to tell you what is true. What those people are saying is not true.
Correct. That's why he's, you look at the individuals that he's kicked out of doing interviews are individuals that were
challenge it, yeah.
Were reporters for over 25 years. So like you stated, if it's not being said by me, or if I'm not conducting it, then it's fake news.
Right. Right. And a lot of this sharing fabricated information is a symptom of social media.
Yep.
That's how we always say, you know what, we know that even for PLOPP, we know that you cannot eradicate completely negativity in the world, in the internet, in this particular example being representative of what the world is, but you can absolutely drown it out with positivity. So we just have a safe space where people can feel comfortable and say what they need to say and be heard and not have to be talked down to, and like, hey, I'm different from you. We should be able to do that in the world. And if you can't do that in the world, you can do that here every Tuesday from 8 to 10 at least. Or whatever day you decide you want to sit on your phone or on your YouTube and plop down and watch us. But unfortunately, a lot of times, tribalization contributes to why people don't believe truth. You know what? Because we get into these groups. So on social media, we follow groups that kind of go along with our belief system.
Correct.
So we'll go follow singles groups.
Right.
We'll go follow married groups. So we'll go follow, like the lady was talking about, alt-right groups. The lady, Joanna Schroeder, was talking about what her son. We follow those particular groups, and then we become associated with not what I believe, but what we believe.
Or what the crowd believes.
Come on.
And then the crowd is then pushing it off on the individual that's following the group.
Right. And most people who are in some of those groups are following them and believing it and don't even understand what the fuck they believe in. They don't. It's just a part of the whole group, because once you decide, once you're informed or someone challenges what you're saying to be true, and you're part of a group who's, in opposition to what that is, they then are like, well, if I question the belief, then I'm questioning the group. And the most people are like, whose side are you on?
Right. And then you start getting challenged on what you say, and then you have a whole thread on.
Yeah, because your belief system is a marker of your identity.
Correct.
That's a Christian over there. That's a single person over there. That's a white supremacist over there. Or that's a person who is part of Black Lives Matter over there.
Right.
That person over there is a Republican. That person over there is a homosexual, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So then you find groups who kind of have the same belief system as you. You become, going or to make what you feel like true is true. You
Correct.
find people who are like-minded individuals.
Right.
And you kind of like define yourself by that. But what people don't realize, the exact definition of defining is limiting. Boundaries. You set a boundary. This is what we believe over here. So this is how and when I say it, this is how I'm going to identify like-minded individuals.
Right.
Oh, you should be a part of this group. We're a widows group. You know what I mean? Or anything.
Right. And that's what that's what we say. Be around like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
A millionaire is not going to be around a broke person.
No. But the thing about it is that some things that are absolutely true in the world, like a millionaire, whether this person that you're saying they're not going to be around is broke or not, a millionaire, when you say, oh, you know what, there's the poverty is so bad here, and it's like 60,000 homeless people in Los Angeles alone.
Mm-hmm.
The millionaire is not like the millionaire could say, I don't see that. Does that make it not true? No.
Right.
Why? Because you're not around it. Because you're not belong to that particular group.
It's definitely true.
It's definitely true. Definitely true.
It's probably more than that.
Right. And because some people will defend some fallacies and foolishness like fucking crazy.
Because they want to keep the narrative differently versus saying, okay, this is the narrative today. Mm-hmm. Let's try to work on what's going on versus saying, this is wrong, but you're going to keep believing the wrong.
And no correction or reason is even rational to them.
No.
They don't even want to see it from a different point of view. They won't even consider a different point of view.
Not at all.
And that's what the whole thing about. But see, that's when you're delving a lot into a belief system, because they're like, just for instance, whether or not it's happening to you, there are marginalized people in this world. Mm-hmm. If someone's telling you that, hey, I felt the effects of this, and you're defending, saying that it's not true, that's not even wanting to consider, well, let me just see what they might be talking about.
Right. Okay.
And a lot of them belong to associations and are associated with different groups of people that they cannot have an opinion of their own.
Correct.
That's why you got people walking around what they call red hats. Mm-hmm. We know who they are. But the thing about it is that, does the truth need a defense?
No. The truth is the truth.
It shouldn't. Thank you. It shouldn't. Because most people are trying, when they do that, who are, in opposition to it, are trying to defend something. And I'm like, but if it's something that's true, you ain't got to defend the truth. You're not defending the truth if you're being that, outlandish with not even trying to be reasonable. But you're just trying to defend a belief system.
Right. If the truth is there, you walk away instead of trying to explain it.
Right. So how can you look at a video of a person who was, trying to mind their business or trying to comply with a police officer and still get killed? And how can you look at that and not say that something's wrong with that? And I think a lot of times it's easy for people, because it's very easy to do this. Close your eye. It's very easy to shut your eyes to shit.
Because it's
very easy.
Because it's not happening to
you.
And that's pretty much the bottom line. If it's not happening to you, then I don't believe it.
And some of the things with this police brutality, and I hate to keep harping on this, is not going to change based on the fact that I totally agree before with I can't call her name, the comedian, she's on the talk. Why I can't think of her name? Cheryl Underwood.
Yeah.
Cheryl Underwood, before when they were talking about this, she said she was having a conversation with the ladies, and they were just like, having different conversations about, I think it was, I don't know which guy it was, and it's so sad that you have to even try to figure out who was killed, but one of the guys was killed and online, and she said, until this starts happening to other groups of people besides black people, nothing's going to change. Until you feel what I feel, nothing's going to change. Let me see what John Eric St. James say. What you say? Oh, he was talking about his jingle. But yeah, that is that. So sometimes, but should it take you having to go through what I go through in order to figure out, hey, this may be true. Maybe we should change this. Maybe we should look at this from a different point of view.
They don't want to look at it. They just want to continue. Again, since it's not happening to them, they don't matter.
Okay. Since we're speaking on that, what does evidence have to do with the truth?
Evidence should be the truth, but we know you have individuals that are incarcerated for over 20 years. They come out with the DNA, and they still say that's not the truth. Like,
why is that?
What was that? The kids that went through the Central Park
fire.
Same situation.
But why do you think that is?
Because they wanted to convict them boys regardless of the truth that was already there.
Thank you.
They wanted to make them an example of, we got the truth, but we want them to suffer anyway.
And I think a lot of it, when I ask that question, because I think a lot of people don't understand, is that, especially with this, excuse me,
I'm sorry, with this age of Google and, you know, Bing or whatever search engine that you use, you can find just as much evidence to support a lie as you can to support the truth.
Yep. Because they put it out there for a reason.
The only thing is, what separates it is you have to vet the evidence.
Mm-hmm. They cross-contaminate the evidence.
But you have to vet it. Okay, let's just put this against the test. What is the litmus test? How do you decide if this right here is actually, you know, the real truth, and this one, this is evidence toward this right here? Because like we just said earlier, the truth doesn't need a defense.
Right. Not at all.
But you can put tons of evidence in front of some people, and they still gonna be like, nope.
That's not the truth.
Why is that though?
I have no idea. That's the sad part about it. They can see the truth on the table, and they still saying, "Who brought that to the table?"
Because now you're not even trying to question the actual truth. You're trying to find fault in the bringer of the truth,
the individual that brought the truth.
Which and it kind of hurts some people because they're just like, "Oh my God, my mama taught me this, so now I have to question my mama." Well, whatever. But anyway, you know what? Seek the truth, the actual truth. Use heart and use logic in order to figure out what it is. Use some compassion to figure out what that thing is, because whatever is true is gonna be true anywhere. That's our time. We have had an awesome time here tonight. Did you enjoy yourself?
I enjoyed myself.
Are you saying that just because I'm sitting right here?
No, it was
okay.
Great time.
Really mean it?
Great time. Looking forward to coming back.
Oh, thank you.
Started.
I know you got to come back here when you get started and let us know the sign up and all that, where the boys can register. And what are we talking about? The J.MYLES program, right?
J.MYLES program.
How they can get with you again?
On Instagram is J.MYLES image one word. And also Facebook, Stan Jameson.
Yes, sir. Okay.
And also, there's another program that individual wasn't here tonight, but it's called Empowering Women Extravaganza.
Oh, okay.
It's a movement.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that as well.
Okay. Well, you know what, friends? We thank y'all so much for sitting down and plopping with us on the green sofa. We really, really appreciate it. We're here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find us on all social media outlets. We are here. We want to talk to y'all. We want to hear y'all. Hi, Jay. We want to talk to y'all and everything like that. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Miss Rose. Hey, Tony. But anyway, next week, our guest is going to be the very beautiful Velvet Charles, who is the owner and creative director of the Zala Boutique. She's the fierce fashionista, honey, and she's going to be plopping down with us next week at 8 o'clock on next Tuesday. Please make sure that you are tuning in. Next week, our topic is going to be put up or shut up.
It's a good topic.
It's a good topic, huh?
They ready?
They ready. I hope they are. Either they're going to put up or they're going to shut up.
That's it.
You know what? Thank y'all so much again, and plop out. We out.